take a look at what I bought, right? This is what I went to Home Depot for. This is called a spade bit. This is for drilling holes. I'm trying to drill holes into my pull-up bar. For the longest time, I've been wanting to build a freestyle calisthenics bar in my front yard. And I bought about last summer, several months ago, I got the materials, you know? I got some wooden beams. I got a big pull-up bar about 10 feet wide. And about 3 weeks ago, you know, I cemented those beams into my front lawn. And they've just been sitting there. I've just been procrastinating putting the bar in because I don't know how. Waste of time. One of the biggest things I struggle with, guys, is procrastination. It's very similar. If you saw my previous video talking about, I don't know, struggling with addiction to the sights, the deed, then you remembered about me talking about the habitual habit, the habitual cycle of sin, or the habitual cycle of certain habits, and I'm 100% sure that procrastination is one of them for me. You know, it runs in the family, and I need to break this. I need to break this cycle. It's holding me back. You know, I had this project I wanted to release January 1st, you know, calisthenics course, online course, community type thing, and here we are, it's not done. Keeps on getting pushed back and back and back because now I'm in school and I don't have the same amount of time as I did before school started. It's unbelievable. It's upsetting. It really disappoints me. But anyways, let's not end off on a negative note. Something big I was talking about was, you know, overcoming procrastination, right? So, again, we're cycling back to that video, but the sights and the deeds. If you're in a habitual loop, a non-stop cycle, maybe it's a bad habit. Maybe it's procrastination, right? It starts with one thing, and like there's steps to it, right? There's steps to it that keeps you in the loop. And so for you to break that loop, you need to jump out. You need to recognize when you're starting the loop, or if you're in it or whatever, you need to recognize that you're at a certain step, and you need to say no. You need to say no and take action to say yes to exiting the loop. So for example, if for procrastination, right? Last night I'm thinking about it. I'm like, when is this pull-up bar gonna get done? And I'm like, I'll just wait for my brother-in-law to get back home so he can help me with it. And I'm like, so I realized I'm just putting it off for later, procrastinating. So I said to myself, no, brother, you're procrastinating more. Go to Home Depot tomorrow, buy your spade bits, and get it done yourself. Why are you gonna keep waiting? You don't know what the future holds. What if he gets back? I think he's gonna come back Tuesday. What if he's too busy? What if you're too busy? You can't get it done. You have the free time now. It's Saturday. Put aside an hour. Get it done. And so yeah, that's how you overcome procrastination, guys. It's easier said than done because, you know, what if you don't want to do the thing? That's going to be another step in the cycle of procrastination. You might not be up to the there's this thing called the theoretical model of change. There's different steps in this model of change. The first step being acknowledgement, acknowledging that there's something that needs to be changed. So I'm past that. Another one of the steps is being ready to change, and then making the change. There's a whole bunch of different steps. I need to learn more about this psychological model, but yeah. I don't want to yap too much to you guys. I'm just driving home now. I'm gonna wait for the sun to come up so it's not so brick outside. But I definitely want to share with you guys what I read today in the daily text. I forget the exact wording of what the text was, but the whole text was essentially about, you know, when you pray to God, right? He hears you, right? He hears you all the time, but he doesn't always answer you how you would expect. He doesn't always just drop whatever you're asking for right in your lap. Sometimes he does it in an indirect manner. So, for example, the text first started talking off about Hezekiah. Hezekiah was on death's doorstep, and God healed him like that. He healed them really quickly. Then you have, on the other hand, a contrasting story. You have the story of Paul. This text talks about how Paul, he received some revelations. He got some visions, some crazy visions or whatever. And so the text said that he easily could have gotten, overly exalted. And so, Paul, it also mentioned that Paul was struggling with a thorn in the flesh. It doesn't specifically say what it was, if it was addiction, if it was demonic oppression, if it was a physical ailment, but it was something he was struggling with. And he continually prayed to God for help. And it said in the text, I don't know how God delivered this to him, if it was via vision, if it was, some thoughts he got, if God directly spoke to him, but it quoted God saying that his power is made in weakness. And so my interpretation of this is that right here, Paul was asking for God to cure him of his suffering. Instead of God curing Paul from his suffering, he allowed Paul to suffer so that through that suffering, Paul could gain strength. And so the way I string this back to my life is that, I constantly ask God for help with X, Y, and Z, and I don't get it right away. And I used to get upset about it. But now I've realized from the scripture that God is allowing me to struggle with these thorns in my flesh so that it can build me, it can mold me into a better person, into a stronger person. So what this is saying is that God allows certain types of suffering so that you can become stronger, so that you can learn from the suffering. So if you're going through something in life, some type of challenge, some type of struggle, you're constantly praying for help and you're not getting it, try not to get down, get depressed about it. Try to see if there's something in this challenge that you can learn from. Is there what if you overcome this challenge, this struggle, this thorn in your flesh, if you yank it out, what is it gonna build up inside of you? This is something I always try to do in life, because guys, life is not easy. Sure, some people have it easier than others. My mom. White thing. What is that? What is the thing for the rain? Oh, okay. Oopsie daisy. Bye-bye. I just mogged my mom, ran into her, said therapy. But anyways, guys, we are home. The yap session is done. Try to find the good in the bad, guys. Don't just let it drag you down. All right. I'm gonna head inside now. Walk my dog. I'll see you guys later when we build in the pull-up bar.